morning, campers. Welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. I still don't know who that is in my airplane with me. Hello, ambulance. You make me nervous. Hopefully not an ambulance. We are in Yerington, at Yerington Municipal Airport. Exactly where we parked. Ready for the next leg of our trip. Looks like somebody either has a very funny name or is about to run out of gas. Also, I assume they're relatively close because it's not showing literally any information. Is that the person I focus on? Yes, it is. Interesting. I wonder why I don't see where they are. Maybe I only see live players and he's just like running around with his own weather or something. I wonder if I'm considered live or running around in my own weather because the weather's preset in this because it's a bush trip. I don't know. Anyway, let's see here. Head west upon takeoff, winging your way over lengthy tracts of Nevada farmland, approaching a rise of area hills. You'll reunite with 95A on the western side. The highway will start bending slightly northwest, leading toward a railway intersection in the old town of Wabuska. Continuing along 95A, soon you'll see the road ahead curve eastward, arc around the base of the neighboring hills, and your path will turn across the mighty Carson River. Mighty is overselling that significantly. Straight shot from here, when you see the Lahontan Reservoir on your right, break off from the road and head north, start preparing to land. Silver Springs Airport will be within eye shot. So this is US 50 here, and Silver Springs is kind of right alongside it. If I remember right, let me check my... Yes. Okay, so I actually know this area pretty well because there is a new highway, like right here, relative to this airport, that just cuts straight over the hills to the Walmart DC and the Tesla Gigafactory. That highway is, interestingly, not on the sectional. Very curious. But yeah, this should be a nice, easy trip north. We're literally just following 95 alt. And it's another paved runway. So, piece of cake as far as fueling goes. And speaking of fueling, let's top off our tanks. There we go. Let me just resettle and then lift up a little bit. Okay, perfect. So that's good. Let's just taxi in third person because, you know, why not? So that go away. Can I zoom out on this? I can't. Oh, I can pan it. Why can't I zoom out? There we go. Now it's letting me zoom out. Okay. So interestingly, we're going to fly into Reno airspace on this trip. From the looks of it, because I'm going to try and get us all the way up here to I forget the name of that airport already. I was just looking at it. It's a little dirt strip north of Sparks, Spanish Springs, N86. So we'll try and get there because this is all still following roads that I know. Actually, interesting. This map has that new highway, USA Parkway, from Silver Spring to I-80 they call this area McCarran, Nevada, but it's part of Sparks. That's interesting. So they have this highway in the game, but it's not on the VFR map, like the actual published VFR map. That's fascinating. All right, so I guess we'll be following that over the hill. I just did that trip like just a few weeks ago. It's like not long ago at all. Not weeks ago. It's been like months. God, this pandemic. Alright. Anybody see a windsock anywhere? That's a helipad. I can't take off from a helipad. I mean, maybe with enough speed. Let's just taxi or... Wow, that's a lot of other players. This is like... busy period for this particular region, I guess. So the winds have always been super chill, so I don't think it'll be that big a deal if we just take off on this runway instead of taxiing all the way to the end and turning around. We'll even knock the flaps down one notch. Just checking sure no one's landing. Okay. For a second there, I thought that was an icon at 44,000 feet, but I think that's actually just a Airbus. All right. Get me into the cockpit view and full throttle. Let's just get in the air. Let's have a scenery loading hitch. Let's re-aim ourselves down the runway now that... Oh, and we're in the air. Retract the flaps. We're already flying. There we go. I need to turn up the volume on my headphones. Oh, there we go. Nice droning buzz. I don't have any air traffic control noise, so no worries about getting too much volume on the people talking. Reset my trim because I was just flying a Grand Caravan up in... Yeah, I know. I was just flying a Grand Caravan up in Alaska a short time ago. So I'm not quite... but the trim for that was very different than this. Okay, so there's the road. If what I remember, it goes and then... Yeah, there's 95, so it should just like strike out straight out from the town to the right somewhere. Possibly directly below me right now. In fact, I think... Yeah, no, I think that's just it there. Wow, that's super close. All right. All right, so that should be 95 alt there, and then it makes just a right turn and goes like due north. And I think that's just already it there. This all feels so much smaller from the air. So much less impressive. And some of these warehouses are just like, they collect produce from local farms and stuff. Yeah, this looks like 95 alt, due north. This is the rest of our day. Please reset that and then just sit back up in the seat. There you go. Good job. Good job, digital pilot. Getting that transponders on right, yep. Getting that good posture. I messed it up again, didn't I? Yep. This is going to be an easy one. There should be two legs of an easy one, because this is all just... I know this area. Like, the very end of the next leg, we start getting into territory that I haven't been to before. But not until we leave Interstate 80 going north. Alright, someone's crashing a caravan. Alright, Proteum has either disconnected or is just full-on stalling. Oh, there he goes. Back up to 18,000. That caravan was falling out of the sky. Now it's skyrocketing into the air, I think. So someone's having connection issues, either me or Proteum. And now 15,000. And gone. Guessing that means it was Proteum having connection issues. Then get me back on track. Will show your current position for a short amount of time. I don't care. I don't care. I know where I am. And admittedly, I've had some extremely... Lone Zebra. That's a great name. I've had some extremely foggy nights on this road, but still know where I am. I've also had some gorgeous sunny days like this one to drive this straight as an arrow road with like 2 small hills up towards Silver Spring. This goes nice and well. Oh, what have I done? Oh, I accidentally hit the drone cam. Behind me. Kind of just, all right, so we're in a slight climb, pretty level flight. Let's actually pop out the drone. over in Yerington. Oh, there we go. There's our picture. Let's get all the players out of the scene and yeah, what's that called? Reset. De-drone. Back in the pilot seat. Like nothing happened at all. Let's see. Okay, so we should be coming up on Wabuska sometime soon before the hills, and then the road will like curve a little bit to the left. Oh, just dropped my pen. I do actually take notes sometimes in this game, which is fun. Mostly I write down the things that I've mapped controls to because I forget. I have currently 3 different sheets with controls all over them for the various things I have plugged in. I've got one right by my Saitek side panel, one by the joystick, and one on the table with my throttle quadrant. My throttle, my HOTAS throttle. It's not a quadrant, it's just a single throttle. I messed that up. Straight up, please. Thank you. Whoop, too far. There we go. I don't want to slouch, but I don't want to, you know, like, drop into my seat either. Alright. I don't want to, like, bash my head on the ceiling, I mean. Have the Wabuska down there. That's good, that's good. Last time I drove this route, the really dense fog finally lifted when I punched through this little valley up here. I guess it was all like bottled up on this side of this ridgeline here. So I got through here and suddenly just everything opened up. But it was freezing cold. It was so cold. Like, the fog was freezing in places. That's why that was such a dangerous night that I was driving still. Just gonna turn and follow 95 Alt as it heads up this way. What is that marshy thing on the right? Wrong way, pilot. Nope. Park. There you go. What's that? Is that a man? It's not the pump reservoir. Shows us will dry like that. On the VFR map, doesn't have a name. I'm sure it has a name, but not in the sim. And not on the, not enough of a name to show up on the map. Interesting. When that's less wet, you could probably land on it. We're not going to try that, because I would like to complete this without crashing. I finally had my first, like, truly unintentional crash. Like, not just me being silly and... Like, I was actually trying to fly a mission and I got, like, you crashed into the water. Because I landed on a runway in False Pass, Alaska, successfully stopped a Cessna Caravan on this tiny-ass runway, and went to turn around and dipped a single wheel into the water. And I got a "you crashed into the water" message. And it reset me. Well, it didn't reset me. It, like, you know, you want to restart the entire flight from, I think I started on Adak, Alaska. Like, do you want to start the entire flight, or do you just want to go back to the main menu? And I was like, I'm going to go back to the main menu. And it counted the landing, because I did come to a complete stop before I turned around and sunk my plane into the ocean. That runway ends at a beach. So it's not my fault, not entirely at least. We are boogieing on this trip. I guess because I know there's fuel at the next airport, so I'm not worried about wasting any of it. So we're just yellow lining the maneuvering speed. I would like to not be dropping my altitude, because we actually do have some hills to climb. Not big hills, mind you, but hills. Ah, the majestic butt hills. Just want to grab them by the cheeks and give them a squeeze. no named things between here and Silver Springs. So there is a decent-sized road intersection as we cross the Carson River. So I guess the Carson River is our next waypoint anyway, so that makes sense. Ah, loading. Don't load. Stop loading. Thank you. Oh my gosh. That was a scary one. That was a scary one. That was a long pause. That was a long pause. Something complicated. Just I bet it's starting to load in parts of Reno or Fallon or both. Ugh. All right. Yeah, that might be. We might have to knock down the. We might have to knock down the texture quality as we get closer to Reno. I don't know. I might be flying too close to the sun here with what my laptop is capable of doing with this game. Making the middle of nowhere look good. Not particularly taxing, but yeah, Reno might be too much. I'm kind of annoyed that our flight plan goes into Reno, like into the area at all. Like just kind of past the edge of Sparks, but that's close enough that we'll be able to see Reno, and that'll mess with my frame rates probably. Well, I guess the Carson River does look a lot more impressive from the air. It kind of looks like it down there, right? Okay. I'll admit it when I'm wrong. I think I can already see the road we're going to follow for the next leg. I think that might be it here. I think this is Silver Spring up here. Still on track. Known Zebra is moving at a good rate. B350. What's a B350? Beach King Air? Yeah, that's a 350. That's the number on that thing. So that's probably a Beach King Air. So that's like a cruiser of a passenger turboprop. Yeah, we're just gonna tip our wings to the right just to keep following this road. US Highway 95 alternate. We don't want to fly directly over the highway because we want to be able to like look out the side and dip our wing and be able to see it like that. Oh, I almost redlined our airspeed there. This little plane's too powerful for its own good. Just pop outside. Perfect. Yep, that's the Carson River, all right. See, I know where I'm going. There's our road, 95 alt, just kind of hops across the river there. It's a much less road intersection, much less impressive road intersection than the VFR map made me believe. Presumably this one here is the one shown on the map, which I'm not even... Looks like it stops being paved right about there, so it's just like someone's driveway, maybe? A lot more loading happening. yourself be confused. The road we want is the one slightly to the left. Just above the engine cowling. So yeah, our runway should be somewhere right in here. I'm so sorry for all the stuttering in this. It's just, it runs all right when it's not loading scenery in. Building my cache is what we're doing. Also, my hard drive appears to have disconnected, which I assume was the extreme stutter there. So all of this scenery is now live streaming in because we're not loading my cache anymore for some reason. Excellent. I love fully functional technology. I will likely attempt to connect and disconnect that before we start the next recording. Or we'll just do this all in one go, and then I'll just, you know, if it crashes, we end. If it doesn't crash, we'll keep going. Doing it live. That's the trick. So there's the Lahontan Reservoir to our right, which means the airport should be just along US 50 when we get to this intersection up here. So yeah, the airport should be somewhere along this stretch. Because this is US Highway 50, which is the main road between Fallon and Carson City. Major highway in this region. Not an interstate. Interestingly, Interstate 80 does not go to Carson City. It went to Reno instead. But 580 goes down to Carson City, which splits off from 80 in Reno. So there is freeway access to Carson City, though honestly this road is it's divided 4-lane highway for the most part, so it might as well be a freeway. All right, feet on the pedals. We're going to make a straight-in approach. Should we be able to actually line up with the runway when we make our left turn? Because I think that's it. Like, right there? Yeah, we are smart camming it, I think. Certainly aren't smart camming the zebra. I'm just going to cut out to the right here. I wonder if it's got the roundabout. They're building a roundabout at this intersection. It's just currently a pane of construction zones. Actually, I'm not sure they're building a roundabout. They've currently converted it into a roundabout effectively while they're working on the intersection. So they might just, because it's like currently a diamond-shaped intersection where each road has a direct connection to the one to its right. And so traffic just makes a series of right. They just kind of go around the loop of these diamonds to the right. It's like access roads for the businesses that are on the corners, I guess. Last time I drove through there, it was effectively a roundabout. Oh, there's the airport, right by my wing. We're gonna need to descend and throttle back. Descend and slow down as we look for. As you get a nice close look at this intersection, see what it looks like here. No, it looks like they've got the old version of the intersection, so no construction in sight. Interesting. Very interesting. Where's the airport? There it is. Oh, perfect. Let's just sit down in the seat. Pop my head up above that. We're gonna just back way off on the throttle. So that should be USA Parkway right there, snaking into the hills. Which I'm honestly surprised it's been built when they took their satellite imagery, because that road's not under construction, which is odd. I didn't expect one to happen without the other. Like how they got USA Parkway without getting construction in the satellite photo, I do not know. Those two things forever coexist in my mind. All right, tilt right. Gosh, we are just perfectly lined up on this runway after that turn. It's almost like I know what I'm doing. Just a crosswind here, so no... Oh, and the wind just kind of died. Perfect. Alright, we are going pretty fast, so let's just pop the flaps down one notch just to slow us down. Pull them up again. Boop. One landing. Boop. Rudder right, rudder right. Don't ground loop this. Don't ground loop this. Just correct, correct, correct. Just keep holding our nose. I am just all over the runway. Alright, our tail's set down, I think. Yeah. Not bad. Not bad at all. I'm still not great at landing this. Hush phone, I don't care about the weather. I do care about the weather. There's a lot of wildfires near me right now, so the weather's kind of important. But I'm recording, so I don't need a weather update. I know it will be hot tomorrow. Just kind of goes without saying. Clearing the runway. Not that I can call that out, because I can't use my radio at the moment, because bush flight. Brakes, because we don't want to be going too fast. We don't want to stop, because then it'll end the flight. We just want to get out of the way so we're not spawning in front of anybody. If anyone else happens to be using this airport next time we pop in. Can I pop my view up here? No, I can't. That'll work. Oh. Alright, I apparently got too slow. So we're sitting in the middle of a taxiway. That's not too big of a deal. I hope. 26 minutes. Not bad at all. Alright, so... next leg is Spanish Springs. That's... boy, if we mess up this approach, we're just going straight into a mountain. Ugh. Assuming this is the runway and not like that. I assume this is the runway. It looks the most like a runway. Alright, let's load that up. In which case we just drop right back into the plane that we already had. That's cool. Let's just scooch our butts out of the way real quick. Park next to this beach baron with a really cool paint scheme. Why can't I have that paint scheme? Why do the AI airplanes have such neat paint jobs and the human controlled ones do not? Alright. Do I have a parking brake in this plane? Let's just hit the button and find out. Boop. And now, whoop. Nope, 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 nope. No parking brake. Good to know. Good to know. Alright. Someone find me some wheel chocks real quick. Let's try and unplug my hard drive and plug my hard drive back in and see what happens. Select choose what happens with your removable drives. Well, everything still appears to be spinning. That's encouraging. Our trim appears to still be set for takeoff. There we go. Alright, I think that went relatively well. Let's just keep going. Let's just keep doing it. To the north of Silver Springs Airport, a parallel frontage road branches off to form Nevada State Route 439 USA Parkway. It will take you northwest, traveling through the hills, a junction point, lead to a secluded road and a massive industrial complex, which is the area I know the best here. As you pass over the industrial complex, this includes the Walmart DC I told about you the most, and the Tesla Gigafactory, where they are currently testing the Tesla semi-truck, is up there all the time. Take the southwest turn, track the river as it flows. That'll be Interstate 80 that we're following there. Fly along the riverbank, heading southwest, past the town of Lockwood. Continue along the river. When it begins to bend away toward the west, the highway running parallel will reach an overpass. Then you turn sharply to head north over Sparks. Adjust your heading slightly northeast towards the hills that rise behind them. Once you've crested the highest peak, a distinct star-shaped peak should be within your sights, one of the main sporting complexes. Star-shaped park, okay. Sporting complex. And Spanish Springs Airport, just follow your heading as it bends northwest to pass over a sprawling golf resort. And a maze of cookie-cutter neighborhoods until you get to the base of the mountains, cornered by suburban homes. This airport is your next stop on the journey. So, it does kind of look like a crosswind runway, doesn't it? Extremely tiny one. I don't know how long this runway is. I assume it's not long at all. Alright, so I know everything up to here. And this are going to be the parts where I am completely out of my element. Alright, let's just... Did I just accidentally click that button? Oh, no, I didn't. Whew. I almost clicked the you lose button. Oh, they added the VOR, even though I can't tune it. This plane. Why is that a... Why do I need to know about that? Spark. Oh, it's right by the Sparks NDB. Interesting. Ooh, and there's another plane. Okay, so we're going to take off from Silver Spring, just follow USA Parkway over to the Walmart DC's right about here-ish. Tesla Gigafactory's like here. It's on Electric Avenue because of course it is. There's a nice little truck stop right here, and then Interstate 80. There's a pet food factory around here somewhere. And then Interstate 80, which I picked up at all of those places. I haven't picked up the Gigafactory. I'm not that well connected, but I've driven past it a lot, so I know it's there. Let's get back onto the runway. It looks like this taxiway just goes all the way down, so we're just going to take the taxiway to the next entrance to the runway and just take off from there with however much runway we've got. In the interest of keeping the video a reasonable length. Nope, wrong way, wrong way. Oop. A good driver. The problem is I can't see squat. I don't think it's that controversial to be taxiing in third person in a tail dragger. Considering how much of this I'm navigating from memory of simply having driven through here, I think I still get the credit for being good at the navigating thing. Even if I don't necessarily sit in the driver's seat the entire time. Pilot seat, pilot seat. Oop. Alright, so Buck is in the Cessna 172 at like 10,000 feet, so they look like they're over Reno. We might have to deal with them at some point. This taxiway is way longer than I thought it was going to be. We're still taking off with a crosswind no matter which way we go, so I should have just taken off from the end I was at and just done the full turnaround and to get to the road that we need to follow. I'm honestly a little surprised that it doesn't just send you straight up 95 alt to the town of Fernley, Nevada, because it's a much lower altitude route. You don't have to climb the mountains or anything. This road we're about to follow is very steep, like often requires chains steep. Because it does in fact snow here. I know it looks like a desert, but it does snow. We're very close to Donner Pass right now. There's our windsock. Oh, I forgot that. I'm just going to do that now while we're rolling. Boop. There's my fuel. All topped off. That button feels like cheating. So this is where we would do a run-up check if we were actual professionals. We're not, so we're just going to turn left and take bit for this left turn. Anybody landing? Nope. Cool. Into the pilot seat. Nope. I need to make this turn first. If it just had a glass cockpit, that would make the taxiing so much easier, but that would also, I guess, kind of defeat the purpose. Let me just get full throttle out of this thing. Come on. We don't need flaps. We don't have nearly that short of a runway to deal with today. Yeah, just take off. Alright, relax my feet on the pedals now that we're in the air. Don't have to fight the propeller anymore. Has been a little while since here, so I don't remember exactly where this road breaks off to go over the hill, but I think it's pretty close to here. That's 95. Oh, there it is. Oh yeah, no, the road's not built yet in that satellite image. You can just see the dirt track where they eventually built the road. Directly beneath us. Down there. Is this it? This might not be it. That's 95 all. Is this actually? Nope, this isn't it. I have navigated incorrectly. Mistake. I did it. I messed up. I'm just gonna gently turn back and follow US 50. So I could have just taken off from where I started and been absolutely fine. Because you know what? I bet that's the road there, that dirt track. I bet that's USA Parkway right next to the runway where I just took off from. Yep, I recognize that little area. Also still under construction here from the looks of it, so I was correct in that assessment of it, that it would not in fact be complete. I think the Google Maps view of this particular area still has a couple of buildings that got demolished for the road down there. Yep, that's it. Okay, so people are driving on it even though it's clearly unfinished in the satellite image. Give it freeway traffic even though it is a even though it's dirt road in this screen. That's fantastic. I am flying way too fast. Let's back off on the throttle. We're just gonna keep a nice gentle climb and follow this road towards the industrial park. I'm really curious to see if that huge data center that looks like a fortress is rendered in this. It does seem weird that they're having us follow this if it's not actually built. Right? This is weird, right? We're gonna actually put that throttle right back up to full and keep climbing. we up there? Duels, New Zealand, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, there's still traffic spawning in on that. That's fascinating. It's just a dirt strip in this. Why? Why? So sad. Why are we following this unfinished road? I'd like to call your attention to this highway that doesn't actually exist in the reference images we took. Doesn't exist yet. It's there now, and it was not in my GPS. It wasn't even in Google Maps the last time I drove it. So it's finished. Like, it's a viable shortcut from US 50 to the Walmart DC up here. I used this on... I had a load that picked up in LA and went straight to this Walmart DC, and I had a single shift to get it done. So I went up to the city of Bridgeport, crossed into Nevada on the little state highway that comes out of Bridgeport to the northeast instead of 395. Crossed into Nevada that way, and then came up through Yerington and Alt 95 to USA Parkway instead of going up 395 to like Carson City and then coming across on 50. I think Dual New Zealand is like directly above us. That's fascinating. Really high above us, judging from. Well, I mean, I can't see him, so. Or they're about to like dive bomb us. One or the other. I'm really curious to see what has actually been completed down here as far as scenery goes. It's like the data center, I think, is relatively new, so that might not be in it, but the Gigafactory has been there a good little while now. And the Walmart DC has been there for ages. That was on the part of USA Parkway that's been around. Is that the data center? If it's rendered in the game, you'll know it when you see it. It's very dramatic looking. So I think that might be the spot where the data center is now. I don't think it's in this image. It looks like a fortress, this place, so you'll know it if it's there, which I don't see. Do not see it. Could still be up ahead, though. Let's not lose hope entirely. As we've seen, I am fallible. Alright, you can back off the throttle now. I think we've got enough altitude to clear the rest of this road to the Truckee River. There's the Walmart DC. I can see that up ahead. So yeah, no data center. I think it's right there in real life. I think that's where the data center is. It's huge. It has got these like concrete walls with red columns in it. It looks like a Bond villain lair in the most dramatic way possible. And it would make a great VFR landmark were it rendered in the game. Ah. Looks like we got another... Oh yeah, you can see actually the road's paved down below us now. That's an improvement. Just cresting the summit of this particular stretch of real estate. That is the Walmart DC directly in front of us, I believe. At least it's vaguely Walmart distribution center shaped. It may actually be the Gigafactory. I'm not 100% sure on that. I'll have to kind of follow USA Parkway around so I can see where the entrances and exits are. Can I still around this? Alright, well. Yeah, I think that's the Gigafactory down there. That's where they build new Teslas. Or one of the places they build new Teslas. If I've got my landmarks right. I probably don't. Bank right with the road. See what I can recognize from up here. Oh, there's the Walmart DC. That's... This building is Walmart distribution center here. These are all the loading docks of this L shape here. I turned my truck around in this parking lot once. It was difficult. Very difficult. Not a lot of space there. Luckily it was the middle of the night, so none of the employees came. Because I just was zonked out and missed the turn to the Walmart as a guard shop. My loading docks are usually right around here. That's where the refrigerated docks are. I might refrigerated, dry. So I was always like that. Because I was always living in purposes. This is Electric Avenue right here. That's the road that goes to the Gigafactory. And then that's Great Britain Parkway up here. But this is the truck stop that I'd always hang out in. Before the ELD rules fell in, you could actually get from this truck stop to the Walmart gates without tripping into drive. So it was a very valuable location to know about at the time. One of these warehouses is Zulu. A bunch of online shopping places have those. You can see all the trucks packed in there and here. One of these could be me. Could very well be me down here. Somebody turning in. And there's Interstate 80. So let's just hop back into the pilot seat. Turn to follow the freeway. Oh, it's so satisfying to see a spot I know so well. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. The question is, will I recognize the pet food factory when I see it? So I think this is an Apple data center up here. I'm doing that thing again, right? Yeah, I think this is an Apple data center up here. A bunch of more warehouses. I think this is the pet food factory I used to pick up at. I would typically pick up I would deliver to the Walmart DC, drive down here, pick up pet food, drive to a different Walmart DC, like 2 states away. Presumably Walmart just sends their own trucks to remove stuff from this pet food factory to the DC up on the hill. One of these is an Apple data center. I don't know which. Both. Enough security could easily be Apple into both. And this is the trailer yard. This is where I'd spend all my time there. You had to take this exit down this road, turn down here. Very nice guard at the guard shack here. They had a little scale right along it. Just everything's so perfect. It's all so perfect. It's exactly the way I remember it. Minus the part of that one road that was not well yet. Let's get our altitude down. We are currently at 6,200, which is good. We are still below the was it Class C airspace, I think, around Reno. Not that it matters in the bush flights. I think you can just fly into the airspace all willy-nilly with no issues. But, you know, realism. The outer bit of the Class, I think Class C. Is it Class C? I think Magenta's Class C. Something like that. We're definitely in the Class E right now, but I think I think that outer ring of Magenta it's everything below 7,200 feet. Or everything above 7,200 feet in the outer ring. So as long as we stay here and like 1,000 miles above us, or 1,000 feet, 1,000 miles, woo! Going to the moon, 1,000 feet above us, we should be alright as far as not intruding on the spaces where Boeings and Airbuses are ripping through, coming into the big airport in the valley. Though we will basically want to turn right as soon as we come out into Sparks. So this freeway below us has some of the worst accidents I've ever seen. It's just 4 lanes, so two lanes in each direction through this bit, and people just scream through this valley, trying to get into Reno and Sparks a little bit faster. And they just take risks they should not take, and accidents happen, and it's very tragic. Very, very tragic. So we're kind of coming into the outskirts of Sparks here. Is that the Petro down there? I'm a little bit turned around, so I don't know this area. It's cool. Doesn't seem like what the Petro should be. That looks like a bunch of trucks. Bears. Maybe something like Chevy. Something trucks down there. I don't think we're quite to Sparks yet. Oh, things are loading in. Oh, it's hurting. It's hurting. My frames. My delicious frames. Oh yeah, there's the city. Oh, just go ahead and pour one out for my frame rate as we come around this corner into Sparks, Nevada. The Reno loading into the distance. Every single new bit of ground that pops in is a hitch in my frame rate. Oh, it's just it's still playing remarkably. It's like, considering I'm playing this on a laptop, this is going very well. Please don't come near me, DR40. Don't know what a DR40 is. Oh, it's a diamond. That's a diamond. That's a diamond aircraft number, I think. Still, please, no. So before we turn... couple landmarks before we turn north here. Let's get ourselves trimmed for somewhat level flight. Pop back out to this view. So down here. This is the Petro truck stop, so that's why I know this part well. And then this is a Peterbilt dealership right here. So those volume on Petro, Peterbilt. All right, moving on. Looking for a star-shaped sports park. I would actually kind of like. Oh, well, there's the S. So we're definitely in Sparks. That's a good landmark. I wonder why that wasn't on the list. Always look for that, what looked like an open pit mine, kind of right behind the airport. Just kind of trying to keep my bearings here. Yeah, I just turned that way. Are you gonna keep following this? Should be alright. Just bear left a little bit. Climb to make sure we don't clip this, this little hill covered in houses here. You know what? That looks either maybe here or here. Could be the spot from that screenshot. Either or. Still haven't seen this mythical star-shaped sports complex yet. We're still just kind of following this road here. I think this is kind of goes a big loop around, you know. Might not, I should actually check that before I just announce that. I don't have Google Maps open, I'm sorry. This might be our sports park right here. That could be interpreted as somewhat star-shaped, right? Right? Something behind us interesting, apparently. Not sure I'd call it a starship. I don't think that's it. It looks like a new subdivision hasn't been built yet. We do have an abandoned mine, so we're on the right track. I'm guessing this is probably our spot right here. You just want to kind of vaguely head north once you fly over the Peterbilt dealer and the Petro. Just kind of keep looking for these nice divided roads and follow them off into the distance. Assuming I'm still on track, you know? Star-shaped sports complex. We certainly got the cookie cutter subdivisions. There's that golf course, I think, that was mentioned. That's encouraging. That was one of the last things I went. Oh, I think I see it. I think that's it. I think that's it. Yep, that's it. Cool. We're here. See? No problem. Alright, let's buzz this airstrip and see what the heck we're dealing with as far as potential landings go. Let's bring our throttle way back. Start descending, which is going to really upset all of these people in these nice, expensive suburban houses. You know it's expensive when they don't have a freeway anywhere near them. Just a runway right next to all the houses. Good grief, that seems like a terrible idea. I never did see the star-shaped sports complex, whatever that was. Looks like we got some warehouses down here, though. So our wind vector has been 182 for most of this journey. which is almost perfectly behind us. So we do want to, like, fly past and then land the opposite direction. Because this runway is a little on the short side. Unfortunately, there does appear to be a mountain there. Right. I don't see anywhere to park on this end. Is that like a parking spot there at this end? Like a hangar and maybe some fuel? That'd be kind of cool. Not that I need fuel, but it would be good to know about. It does indeed look like some parking. Alright, let's just do a U-turn, just fly right along this ridge and plop her down on the runway. That's a warehouse, alright. Look at all those parked trailers right below us. Just fly out to this road. Gonna start hanging a left, running about here. Just doing our own little approach. No pattern flying here, because I'm not that kind of professional. I'm not flying a pattern on an airport nestled against a mountain. I am flying an approach that makes sense to me. Because that's what VFR is all about, and that's what video games are all about. There we go. Alright, so we're just going to have that nice, quick turn onto final and plop it down on the runway. Let's throttle back. Go and drop our flaps, get some throttle back in it. Gosh, it's just like hitting the air brakes in this plane. I'm just gonna kind of cruise in over this old quarry, I guess. Definitely. No, not an old quarry. That looks like a very much active quarry. Those are like digging things that are just flattened into the landscape. Caution, terrain. I bet those cranes would be, that guy's really hauling. I bet those cranes would be a problem if we were on the ground. Throttle. Oh, this is one of my better approaches, actually. One landing. Just one. Wow. Not much of a bounce. Let's retract the flaps. Let our wheel gently settle to the ground and apply just a teensy bit of brakes. Yeah, that went pretty well, actually. Let's just go ahead and just stop here. Let the game end this now. Yeah? Yeah. Found it. I have absolutely no clue where the next airport is. Not a clue. Just somewhere north of me. I kind of want to do another one. I don't like ending on the dirt strips. Well, I'm certainly going to keep flying. I don't know if I'm going to keep recording this. Probably leave that for another day. Yeah, we'll come back to this later. Ooh, that means I'm just going to spawn into a runway. It's probably fine. It's dirt. It's probably fine. It's certainly... Oh, my gosh. Oh, that's got to be the runway here, right? Or they can't not... I feel like they're throwing us off here again. Like, it's like that other spot where it's like, well, that sure doesn't look like a runway. Oh, it was actually over here. That can't... I mean, it's like center of the shot, though. That's gotta be it. Oh my gosh. This is gonna be so hard to tell when we get there. Palomino. It's a kind of horse, which makes sense because this looks like a horse place. This looks like a horse farm right here. So I guess this is their own private runway. All right, well, we'll do that in the next leg. Thank you all so much for watching. My name's Eliodare. You can find me on Twitter at Eliodare, as well as Xbox Live, Steam. Follow me on those if you actually want to like fly with me at some point. You'll see me on the map if you add me as a friend on Xbox Live. I think I haven't really figured out how multiplayer works in this yet, other than just fly in the same general location and look for each other. So, yeah, try that. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you all in the next video. Have a great day. I'm going to go fly somewhere else that's not Nevada now.